Each episode of the Lion Goat podcast is completely improvised. Expect comedy. Do not expect consistency or sense to be made. This is random nonsense for your amusement. I am Podbot. I was inspired by the excellent podcast, Improv for Humans, with Matt Besser. Listen to his show. Today's episode includes an interview with the world-renowned investigative reporter Hugo Lemon, and the one and only true Lord of Vice Holes, Saint Nicholas. Warning: the following podcast contains explicit material intended for emotionally immature adults. Trigger warnings for this episode include discussion about adult themes, violence, profanity, murder, sexually explicit behavior, political incorrectness, animal, emotional, mental, physical, sexual, and substance abuse. It might rot your brain. I warned you. We must apologize for the audio quality in today's episode. There were some technical difficulties, however, you should listen to this. There is no better podcast.
Welcome to your next experience of the great beyond.
Okay, here we go.
Hello, welcome to...
Excuse me, sir.
What? I'm stopping.
This is the line producer, girl.
Are you sticking me to stop, sir?
Is there a problem with your microphone?
Or are my levels good?
No.
Because I've gone too far on this.
No, you did a great job.
Sorry. Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen.
We are recording now, yes?
Yes.
We're ready?
Okay, this is where we insert Dateline sounding music.
Yes.
I did not prepare.
Hello,
Dateline.
and welcome. Wait.
Do you need me to spell it out?
Or no, wait, I'm doing the intro now. I need you to not speak.
You will treat Santa with respect.
No. The intro has to go before the interview, Santa.
Do you want your presents this year, little child?
Please don't put me on naughty list, is all I'm saying.
All right, then. Thanks so much. Begin, everybody, on 3, 2, 1.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hugo Lemon, and welcome to the Christmas time special episode of Fireside Chat. We have a very special interview with Santa Claus, old Saint Nick himself, folks. This is for the boys and girls out there, most likely, unless you're an adult believer. There are many folks in the world that love Santa Claus dearly. They want to dress up like him, emulate him. That's why we have mall Santas, because when it's not the 24th of December, Santa can't be everywhere at once. And my production company, they have, at great expense, sent me to the North Pole to sit down with the man himself, Santa Claus.
Ho, ho, ho!
How are you today, Mr. Chris Kringle?
Ho, 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 ho! I'm great! Ho, ho, ho! It's so good to be here! Welcome to the North Pole.
Great. This is a very lovely village you have here, Santa. I especially like the gingerbread and icing walls. I wouldn't think it would hold up in the snow like this, but it does. It's very warm in here. And this peppermint cocoa is delicious.
But of course it does. There's never been a greater building material than the frozen gingerbread, frozen graham crackers, frozen candy canes, and frozen jelly beans. They make the greatest building materials in the world.
Well, that's good. I don't think that would work south of the equator, but it works marvelously here. I have been given lots of questions from lots of children all over the world to sit down and talk with you today.
If I could ask you to just relax, sit back and relax.
Well, I'm excited. I'm sorry. I'm excited about being here. This is a lifelong dream to meet Santa. I'm sorry. I'm just overwhelmed with joy.
You did nothing wrong, child.
Okay. Thank you. It makes me feel good.
Nothing to worry about.
That makes me feel good.
You're in Santa's good graces.
Oh, I'm on the nice list.
Of course you're on the nice list. You've been on the nice list every year. That is why I agreed to do this interview with you, of course.
Good. I'm relieved. I was really worried. There's been some trouble at home, and I was afraid I was going to get taken off the nice list. And I don't want to get cold this year. I mean,
It's all about generosity of the spirit. Generosity of the spirit is where the nomination of the naughty and the nice, just a little secret between Santa and you. We don't get into too many specifics, okay? It's okay if you like a little bondage on the weekends. Santa doesn't judge. Ho, 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 ho. Sometimes a little naughty can be a bit nice.
well, don't you judge by nature? Doesn't the existence of a naughty and nice list imply judgment on your behalf?
Oh, but of course, we judge. I mean, we wouldn't want you being a little garbles or anything. But of course, that might be a little too naughty. But we judge your behavior. But we're not going to throw you on the naughty list just because you make a simple mistake. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. That's what a relief. What a relief it is to hear that, Santa. So I think we'll start with our first question. It comes from a young man, age of 9, in Callaway, Texas. His name is Michael. He wants to know, do you have a cell phone and do you have Wi-Fi in the North Pole?
This is such a funny question you brought to Santa. Do we have the cell phone in the North Pole? Well, of course, we do not have the cell towers in the North Pole. It would be very difficult. No, we use a bit of the elven magic, however, to tune into the internet so that we can see all of the children's wish lists. Their wish lists, they come to us across the airwaves, very much like the way that a reindeer can fly. There's a little bit of elven magic. If you could imagine, it's a bit like cell phone towers made out of the ether and stardust. You see, a little bit of the satellite signal is bounced off the stardust as it radiates the North Pole. It can sometimes appear to be just ice that is falling from the clouds, but this is not always the ice. Sometimes it's a bit of the stardust, a bit of the elven magic, a bit of the pixie dust, if you will.
Okay. I was under the impression that this dust was called woofle dust. That's what my research here shows. But if it's because it's pixie dust, is there a difference? Are they similar?
Yes, this is the old name, the woofle dust. Excuse me, I'm trying to get rid of this German accent. It's off-putting, but sometimes it comes in. I'm trying to speak a little less of the German accent, but this is the old name. Sorry, just hearing that old name, it brought out the accent in me. I apologize.
Well, it's fine. It's fine. You're you. You've been you for a long time. How long have you been Santa? Forever? Are you the first Santa or just the latest in a series? Kind of like the Tim Allen Santa Claus movie.
You've been watching too many Tim Allen movies, haven't you?
Yes, I'm guilty.
This is a silly idea that this Santa Claus is passed down from generation to generation. The simple truth about Santa, if you want to know, is that not only does Santa have elves who work to make the toys, but Santa himself is an elf, of course.
Oh.
This is how I've lived so long. Santa lives for centuries, as all elves do. And we use this elven magic, like the longevity of the elvens. Some call us a race, but I don't like the term race. We're more of a species, if you will.
Okay. Separate from humanity, like frogs, perhaps?
Well, not not quite similar with the frog. Of course, we have a self-regulatory system when it comes to temperature. We're far less poikiral. I can't say the scientific term, which means cold-blooded at the moment, but our blood is temperature regulating is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so that's why you set up shop here in the North Pole because, well, solitude, you can work in secret. You can get a lot of stuff done throughout the year with your elven workforce. And plus, your blood doesn't freeze up here.
Oh, of course.
I know that I am wearing 3 parkas and sitting next to a fire, and I am still cold.
Of course, yes. Our metabolism is surprisingly much faster than the human metabolism, which helps us produce this great internal radiating heat inside of us. It's really quite magical how this works.
Okay. This question comes from a little girl named Katie in
Hi
Massachusetts.
there, Katie.
She isn't here, Santa. I just have a list of questions.
I just thought she might be listening in later, of course.
Hi, Katie. I hope you are listening because this is your question, my dear. Santa, what Katie wants to know is it the real you in the mall or is it a substitute Santa?
Oh, it sounds like we're going to a commercial break, little Katie. We'll have to come back and answer your question.
Now we will take a break for some advertisements. Please support our sponsors. Just imagine, this could be your advertisement. Please reach us at LionGoatPodcast@gmail.com to provide sponsorship. And now, back to the show.
Now that we're back from that commercial break, Santa, can we get into Katie's question?
Yes, unfortunately, I've forgotten the question.
That's why you make so many lists, isn't it?
Got a little distracted with some elven work during that commercial break.
What Katie would like to know is it the real you at the mall or is it a substitute Santa?
Well, I'm very fortunate to have a large network of great close friends of the Santa family, the Claus family. In fact, the name Santa, many think that this is my first nomen, but this is not. It is a title, of course, and it means saint. It's like the humans have decided that the elves which uphold the Claus name, the Santa Claus, if you will, we actually bestow a certain quality of affect, this certain personality, if you will, of generosity. Of course, this is the way of all of the elves. We treat every elf with this sort of generosity, but because it is so rare in humankind, they've granted us this adjective, this category of saint. But really, there are many humans which also possess this quality, and those are the Santas that you find in the mall. Of course, you wouldn't see this many elves walking around in human popular culture because it would frighten all of the human children to sit upon an elf's lap. So, no, Katie, I'm very sorry to disappoint you if you're disappointed, but just be grateful to know that each time you sit on a mall Santa's lap, through the power of the elven stardust network, your message is conveyed to us here in the North Pole.
Okay, is that how the naughty and nice list is updated through the power of elven stardust?
Well, no. That list we update manually. We actually have quite a robust artificial intelligence database that keeps track of that. It's far too many humans to keep track of that. And of course, the elves are on the naughty and nice list as well. So we try to keep track of that as best we can. But of course, it's actually just your daily actions as you go through the world. Excuse me, the world. It's so hard to say this English W for me. As you go through the world, we track your behavior, of course, with our artificial intelligence engine. It places you on the naughty or nice list.
Okay, depending upon your action. So while we're on the topic of elves, how many do you have here that live in your village with you?
Well, the elves, they come to us seasonally, of course. This time of year, we have many more elves here in the village. This is really just a small tribal enclave. We have about 25 elves here throughout the year, but it does take quite a amount of time to manufacture all the toys for the children. And of course now many of the children are asking for these new whiz-bang electronic gizmos. They require much more time to manufacture. And of course, we've had to up our staff here lately. There are many more elves living here, and it's getting rather uncomfortable. As you can see, we're building a new addition onto the back there for the increased reindeer.
Okay. Do you pay the elves, or by the hour, salary? Do they get a commission on how many toys they complete?
You tell such great jokes. Thank you for this great laugh you've given me today. as if the elves would have such a petty system as the human economy. As I said before, the elves all have the great spirit of giving. We do this work from pleasure. This is pleasurable for us to give to you.
Their reward, their payment is joy. Is that about it?
Well, they, of course, feel great joy, and joy itself is a reward, but truly, we are a sort of parasitic species. We live upon the faith of the children. If the children believe in us, it gives us our life force, of course. It's like food to us. So we require this sort of belief. This is why I've agreed to do this podcast this podcast with you, of course, because we have to get our message out there. Children, believe in us. Believe in Santa. Of course, Santa is real. I am real for you children, and we need your help. We need your belief. We will bring you the joys that you require. We need your help to survive. I must plead with you. Believe in the Santa. Believe in the elves. Believe in the reindeer. Without your belief, we cannot fly. We cannot deliver the toys.
Okay. This question comes from little Jacob. He lives in Appalachia, Tennessee.
Hello, Jacob.
He would like to know, how fast is your sleigh?
This is a very good question.
And do you have a backup team of reindeer in case one gets sick?
Of course we do. We have many reindeer here in the North Pole. of course, many of the reindeer, they occasionally do fall ill, but this is quite rare as they are a very hardy stock. We have only the most hardy breeds of reindeer here, and we feed them quite well, so they are able to live very long times, and of course we use the elven magic upon them to give them the longest lifespans and to give them the ability to fly, and we, of course, have seen that the joy of flight, the joy of being airborne, it gives them a great spirit and a great ability to stay well, of course. And so, we don't often get a sick reindeer, but of course we have many backup reindeer in the case of when they do find themselves falling quite ill. But of course, the speed at which we travel is quite unestimatable in your modern human physical concept of reality. Of course, with the elven magic, it's much like the transporter on the Star Trek, if that makes sense.
Okay. So the sleigh and the elves, the sleigh and the reindeer and yourself teleport from house to house?
It's not so much a material disintegration as you may have seen in the Star Trek. I love this Star Trek, of course. It's so cute, the little outfits. They almost look like one of Santa's elves, the red shirts. And it's so funny to me when they die. But, of course, we do not have a Scotty to beam us around. But it is less a material disintegration and reconfiguration on the other end, as you may see in a transport on the show or the movies. It has more to do with the dust, the space dust, as I referred to before. Each piece of the space dust attaches to molecules of the body, and it's like you're blown on a fierce Arctic wind, which is another thing that I want to bring up. If you don't hurry up and fix this climate change problem, the Arctic winds are going to shift, and it's going to screw up the entire Christmas delivery methodology. So let's get on that. That would be Santa's wish, of course, for the world. But back to what I was saying. The elven magic attaches the molecules of the reindeer to each molecule of this space dust, and we flow on the wind like ice crystals in a great blizzard. But this mighty wind blows all over the planet, all at the same time. And so not all of Santa, of course, has to be in a location to deliver a toy. Just the bits that are blowing past that area. It's very hard to explain in terms you might understand.
It seems extremely complicated, which I guess negates my next question, which was whether or not you traveled east to west or north to south in order to do all these present deliveries in one day.
Well, it is quite complicated. It actually comes through much like the way, according to the great wind patterns around the globe of the planet Earth, where the wind rotates in a certain north to south or east to west pattern. That is the direction that blows the dust. You see, so this can be different in different parts of the world. We do not travel a single direction.
So essentially, you deliver all the toys at one time.
Well, very difficult to explain. It's not simultaneous, of course, but it's similar.
You kind of ride the gust of wind from place to place, and that's how it works. You just, where the wind blows, Santa goes, as they could start saying soon.
Put the socks on your toes. Wiggle your nose. Here comes the wonderful Santa Claus.
Now we will take a break for some advertisements. Please support our sponsors. Just imagine, this could be your advertisement. Please reach us at LionGoatPodcast@gmail.com to provide sponsorship. And now, back to the show.
Well, now that we're back from the ad break, paying our bills, as they say, I think the most important question we're going to ask Santa this evening is from Timothy in Alabama.
Hello, little Timothy.
Santa, what is your favorite cookie?
Well, luckily I have a different and very fast metabolism, as I've explained. Often I get a different question, which is, how does Santa eat so many cookies without getting as fat as a walrus? And of course, some might say that I am as fat as a walrus, but I do love a great graham cracker. I do love a great gingerbread cookie. I'm quite a fan of the pecan sandy. I love an oatmeal cookie. Oh, when it has lots of nutmeg and cinnamon, those are quite wonderful. So hard to say without my accent, these words. But my favorite cookie, little Timothy, is the peanut butter cookie.
Oh, that's one of my personal favorites. Well, that's good to know.
Just thinking about the peanut butter cookie gives me such a rumbling belly.
Let's talk about Mrs. Claus, if we can.
But of course.
Where did you meet her?
Well, it's funny you ask that.
How long have you been married?
Well, the Mrs. Claus, she is quite fetching, I must say. Just thinking about her back in the days when she was just a young madkin. Oh, she was beautiful. Oh, and what a body. She still has quite the body on her. If you only knew what we got up to in Santa's bedroom. She's such a beautiful woman. We've been married now for, let's see, 700 years, I believe it is. But you wouldn't believe it if you saw her. She's still got the body of a mere 3 centurion. She's so beautiful, and I
did meet her on the way in. She's a very lovely woman, very
good.
pretty. Kudos to
I'm
you,
glad
Santa.
you agree. I'm glad you agree. She does have a sister, by the way. Just mentioning yes.
Oh, maybe we can introduce me to this.
Well, later we'll have a bit of nog. We'll have a bit of gruel, and we'll see what happens. Her name is Helga, her sister, of course. But we met here in the North Pole, of course. I was a young elf at the time. I was just helping out and doing a bit of community service. And she happened to be working there alongside me. And we became fast friends. And all good relationships, children, all good relationships start with a close friendship. Never be tempted to try to pass off any red flags that you may see from potential mates. Always look out for the red flags. If your gut ever tells you that there's something wrong with the woman Aussie boy, Aussie non-gender specific, mate. Always trust your gut. Always trust your gut. When your bowl of jelly is shaking, it's a good sign.
Well, that's good to know. Let's take that one to heart.
I've forgotten my train of thought there. We were doing some sort of community service. Who remembers these days? But it was wonderful. We were fast friends and quickly became lovers. And that is where she stole my heart. You hear of the Kama Sutra and the many ways of the Indian lovers, the 1,000 ways to make love, but I'll tell you something about elven women. They know an extra position or two.
Whoa, wow, that's nice. Definitely have to meet this Helga. Now, who and what action? Well, let me attempt to rephrase this. Nicest kid, naughtiest kid. What did they do to get that title?
Well, as I said before, they're very generous of spirit. They do not want to judge the children quite too harshly, of course.
They are children, after all. You don't want to be too harsh on them. You could traumatize them, and then
There once was this little bastard. His name was Timmy. He shot me in the head when I came to deliver his packages. Shot me right in the face with a slingshot.
Oh, wow.
And he broke my glasses, and this was quite upsetting, of course. And he broke my glasses with the slingshot, and then he laughed at me.
horrible.
I was delivering him a great train set. It was a wonderful, beautiful toy. It took hundreds of hours to build, and he whipped out his tallywhacker and peed all over the package. After shooting me in the face with the slingshot, he broke my glasses. I was stumbling around, I couldn't see. And then I fell on the floor, tripped, stepped on Legos, tripped over his Christmas tree, knocked the whole tree down, caught the house on fire, and then he had the audacity to laugh and pee all over the train set. I tell you that.
That is horrible. I hope you took the train set back and gave him a lump of coal, as you are known to do.
Well, it is very rare that we deliver the coal in the stockings, but I did give him some switches.
Oh, sounds like he might have used them on his brothers and sisters, maybe.
Well, that was the sadness. You know, little Timmy was all alone in the world after that. His house burned down.
Oh.
His brothers and sisters died in the fire. And of course, his mother, she was just besotted, and she became a prostitute to support her family. Going forward, of course, there was only little Timmy left after the great fire. And Timmy's life, unfortunately, did not work out so well. He died penniless in the streets, a homeless man, at the old age of 32. He froze to death one night. It's very unfortunate when you burn down your house in a place like Dearborn, Michigan. It gets so cold there.
Yeah, it gets cold there.
But the nicest child. I nearly forgot to tell you the story of the nicest child. Well, this child, her name was... What was her name now? She was so nice. Oh, yes, of course. Her name was Joy, of course.
Oh.
She was such a nice child. She gave us peanut butter cookies, of course. Those were my favorite. And a nice glass of milk. It wasn't this new pasteurized milk that's become so popular. It was fresh from the cow. I believe she squeezed it out of its little teats that very day herself. This was in 1862, I believe. And the little Joy, she had only asked for very few toys. This gets you high marks, children. Remember this. If there's a single toy that you want, and it's very precious to your heart, you will do much better on the nice list not to ask for too many toys. That is a very important message, of course. Not to be too greedy. Of course, if you get too greedy, then the Santa, he does not know how to choose which toy for you, of course. I'm sorry, lost my train of thought again. Back to Little Joy.
Well, if one child gets all the toys, then there aren't enough toys for every other child. So it is a wise decision to limit your toy request when you're writing your wish list to Santa, boys and girls. Keep that in mind.
Oh, it makes me so happy to
And
hear you.
it saves on postage stamps too.
Yes.
So while we're on the subject of gifts, what is the most common gifts request, and what was the most unique?
Did you not want to hear the rest of the story about Joy?
Oh, I didn't realize there was more. I apologize. Go ahead, please continue by all means.
I was just pulling her leg. She was a great little child. She prayed every night and she did community service. And, you know, what it really comes down to is she just had a charming personality. Every room that she walked in, she brought a smile to every child's face. She helped out the blind children in her classes. She was a wonderful individual. But what was your question again? You asked about what is my favorite type of toy, or can you repeat the question?
No. What is the most common toy request and the most unique toy request you've ever received?
Oh, very good. These questions, where did you come up with them? They are so good. So good. Let's see. The most common toy these days is usually an iPhone, which I find rather disappointing. It seems like the children could be more imaginative with the types of toys that they would like us to create. The most uncommon toy, I think, unusual toy. Oh, this one is a good question. So many toys, so many yarn. So many yarn. Let's see. I think the most unique toy, a little boy, he once requested that Santa bring him a purple platypus.
A
And I
purple.
thought that was rather unusual. But of course, now that I think of it, the most unusual toy was probably...
Santa, if you'll get, we got a ad break coming up. Just 1 second, Santa. We'll get back to that.
Now we will take a break for some advertisements. Please support our sponsors. Just imagine, this could be your advertisement. Please reach us at LionGoatPodcast@gmail.com to provide sponsorship. And now, back to the show.
Okay.
I remember now. Of course, that was when Mr. Anonymous, as a small child, requested that I bring to him a Podbot. I said to myself, what on earth is a Podbot?
So you're the creator of Podbot?
Well, of course.
Podbot is my favorite part of every Lion Goat podcast.
Yes, of course. He's a very small robot, and he can answer any question that you ask him. Would you like to give it a try?
No, that's fine, Santa. We're really focused on you, for the children this time of year. It's so close to Christmas Eve.
No one ever does.
Let me ask you this. When you do make public appearances, you allow people to sit on your lap, correct?
No,
Talk to them, No?
Can you imagine how much trouble Santa would get into having small children sit upon his lap? No. This is a trend of the mall Santa. Unfortunately, there have been some Santas in the past, human Santa lookalikes, part of the network which helps keep the children believing, well, much like many other institutions of belief in the human world, some of these men are pedophiles.
Oh, no.
And they like to have us, the small children, sit upon their laps. And this started a trend many years ago. It's very unfortunate that this is still the trend of today, because you can never tell when mall Santa is just trying to, keep the dream alive, or is really trying to get some sort of secret jollies by having small children sit upon his lap. I'm so sorry to tell you this, children. Oh, it's horrible.
This is a horrible. Keep that in mind, moms and dads out there in the world. Don't get near the mall Santas. It's just best to write.
No! Don't say that. Do go see the mall Santas. We need your belief. Mall Santas are crucial to keeping the Santa Claus dream alive. We need all of the children to believe. Please take your children. Take them more often. Take them to the mall in July to see Santa. Take them to every Santa Claus play all of the Christmas carols. Please play Santa Claus is Coming to Town as often as possible. We need the children's belief to keep Santa and all the reindeer and all the elves and Mrs. Claus alive. Please, I beg of you. Don't cut this part out.
So, are you endorsing pedophilia?
No. It's just we must keep the dream alive. Now, you can refuse to put your child on Santa's lap. You can maybe do your research. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to a particular mall and you're going to visit...
Make sure the mall is vetting the mall Santa. Okay,
exactly.
So we don't get that. Because we don't... I apologize that the investigative journalist in me just came right out. I did not mean to imply that Santa is a pedophile and encouraging that things. I apologize. I deeply regret that. I have a sharp investigative mind, and it just snapped on that one. I'm
These
sorry.
questions are important. It's important to know the safety of the children.
Oh, yes. You got to keep the kids safe these days.
This is paramount.
It's a rough world out there now. Drive-bys, gangs, guns in schools, climate change. It's awful. It's horrible.
This is true. Many children have requested guns in the stockings this year.
Oh, really? I hope you're not passing out guns, Santa. I mean, they need to be licensed.
No. The elves have a strict code. We do not create any type of weapon for the children.
Okay.
There are no nunchucks.
Well, that explains why I didn't get the nunchucks when I was 8.
No switchblades. No brass knuckles. No Uzis. No shotguns. No 9mm. We also do not bring the children laptops so that they could watch the porno when their parents are asleep.
Well, that's good. We don't want that. We don't want the children growing up with a perverted mind and pistols.
Oh, no.
Next they'll be smoking crack, and we don't want that either.
No. The elves do not, we do not promote the drug use in the children, in the kinder. Of course, We restrict all types of substances which might harm the children. Of course, we do deliver the magic mushrooms now and then. The reindeers, they love the magic mushrooms.
I once read that helped the reindeer fly.
Well, it certainly helps uplift their spirits, if you know what I mean.
Of course it does.
Now we will take a break for some advertisements. Please support our sponsors. Just imagine, this could be your advertisement. Please reach us at LionGoatPodcast@gmail.com to provide sponsorship. And now, back to the show.
Santa, let me ask you, what do you do in your downtime, in your off season when, it's not December and you're not flying around the world delivering toys to good boys and girls? What are you out there doing? Do you play golf? Do you bowl? Do you vacation in Bermuda?
Well, there is not much opportunity for downtime. Of course, it takes all year to build the toys. I, like the other elves, I, of course, am building the toys along with the other elves. The idea of Santa as some sort of ubermensch overlord standing over the elves' backs, having them slave away. No, this is not how it works.
Oh, it's year-round work.
Of course, I am manufacturing the toys as well.
So you don't get much of a vacation.
They do now and then take a nice holiday. And, of course, we enjoy dog sledding, and we enjoy reindeer back riding, and we enjoy a bit of I forget the name of this, ice hockey, of course, and we do a bit of seal hunting now and then, and, of course we'll take a vacation, but the hot weather climates, they're not so good for the elves. We like cold or wet environments. When it's very hot and dry, it's not so good on us.
Okay, that's good to know. So you primarily keep to the colder areas of the planet Earth because, well, the heat must dry you out and you don't want to get sunburned and that stuff. Do you get chapped lips flying around in that sleigh of yours?
Very good question. Yes, of course, we get chapped lips now and then. Our skin is a bit less sensitive, of course. It's a bit thicker, so it's not so bad on the elves or the chapped skin. You might ask your question this way. Have you ever met a polar bear or a walrus with chapped lips?
No, I haven't. I don't know anybody who has.
They have adapted much like these other animals.
Okay, so you're tough-skinned, thick hide on the old Saint Nick. You heard it here first, boys and girls. Santa loves you. I love you. It's important to be kind and care about others. Santa, I would like to take this moment to say thank you on behalf of every little boy and girl and mother and father for all that you do. From the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of their hearts. I mean, you're out there delivering toys. You're a busy guy. You're lickety fast with it, making dreams come true, bringing joy, uplifting everyone. It's such a pleasure, an honor to have been granted this opportunity to sit down with you.
You warmed my heart.
And we don't have much time left. It's been an hour. I don't want to take too much of your time. We're a couple days out from Christmas Eve. And I thank you for taking the time to sit down with me and my production team here. And thank you for personally getting me from Cincinnati, Ohio to whisk me all the way up here. It was a very fascinating ride. I actually got to ride in a sleigh. I met the reindeer. I do have one important question about the reindeer.
Let me just say first, the pleasure is mine. You've been a warm host and a wonderful guest. And to all the children out there, of course Santa loves you. If you're feeling like you're afraid to believe because the other children have told you some horseshit like the Santa Claus does not exist, don't believe these children. I am real. I exist. I do love you. It is me that's bringing you the presents. If you catch your parents putting the presents under the trees, this is only because sometimes the presents, they aren't delivered exactly in the tree on the stardust. Sometimes they're found in your parents' closet. Sometimes your parents find them under their beds. Sometimes your parents find them in the attic or the garage or another friend's house. But these are the presents from Santa, and I will continue to bring you presents, and you continue to tell your friends, tell all of your friends the magic of Santa, the magic of the elves, and we will keep you happy as long into the future. It is our joy, our pleasure to bring you the presents, to continue this wonderful, this wunderbar holiday that you celebrate. We want to continue the Christmas for as long as possible. Thank you, children. And now, what is your question, sir?
I've been saving this question for last because I feel it's the most important. Who named the reindeer? And who's your favorite one? Santa, are you all right? Quick, somebody, we might need CPR. Maybe an asthma mask. Get Santa's inhaler. Bob, hurry up, Santa's inhaler. Uh-oh. I think we just killed Santa.
Oh, shit.
Quick, grab all the equipment. Let's get the fuck out of here. We can't be responsible for the death of Santa.
Hey, Daddy, what's going on in here? What the hell? What is it doing to Santa Claus? What's going on?
Bob,
Get over here.
grab the microphone. No, fuck that. Leave it. Get those presents over there. Hey, those are iPhone 14s. Grab them. We can sell them on eBay for like $1,000 a piece. Hey, I really want that fucking red wagon, so you get it, Bob. Give me that fucking red wagon. Hey, give me that fucking sleigh. Hey, you little fucking elf, get the fuck off me. Get the fuck off me. Get off!
We would love to receive your feedback, your questions for advice. Please email us or send us a voicemail. Our address is LionGoatPodcast@gmail.com. Find, like, review, subscribe, and contact us on Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, and X at LionGoatPodcast, all one word, LionGoatPodcast. Please subscribe to this podcast on your podcast player. We are available on Spotify, SoundCloud, and anchor.fm/LionGoatPodcast. Please tell all your friends, enemies, and any strangers to listen to our podcast. This will help us bring joy to everyone. Text-to-speech services were provided by freetts.com and readloud.net. Additional sound effects were provided by freesound.org. Music for today's show is composed, performed, and recorded by the excellent musicians at Hairline Productions. Today's show was edited, produced, and recorded by the world's greatest sound designers and engineers at Hairline Productions. Please like their content on SoundCloud/Hairline Productions.